Hi everyone and welcome to Creative Cakes by Sharon. Today I'm doing part 3 in my Ombre series. I'm doing a love heart created with a ruffle technique just in time for Valentine's Day. So today I've got a square cake which I've already covered in fondant and it's dried. I've got my fondant roller, pizza cutter, as well as my balling tool. I've got a small offset spatula and I've got some flour glue and a paintbrush today. I've got some red fondant and white fondant, as well as today my key piece of equipment is this plastic sheet which I'm going to use to prevent the fondant from drying out. So today I'm going to try and blend 5 shades of red into the pattern. So I'm going to divide my white fondant into 4 pieces, and then I'm also going to cut a section off the red fondant because I'd like to use that pure red colour as one of the ruffles. And then with the remaining red piece of fondant I'm just going to divide it up among the 4 pieces of white fondant so that when I roll them together I'll end up with my 4 different shades of red plus the original red piece that I cut off. So now you can see I've got my 5 shades of red and I'm just going to put the 4 darker ones in a plastic bag while I start working with the lightest shade. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll it out. I want to roll it out fairly thin to about 1 to 2 mil thick into a long strip, and then using my pizza cutter I'm just going to neaten off the top and bottom edges so that they're flat and straight, and then cut 2 strips of fondant. They're about 1 centimetre each. If you've got a ribbon cutter you could use this. And then I'm just going to open up my plastic pocket and place the 2 strips of fondant into the middle and close it up and put it on the side while I go ahead and create the strips from the remaining 4 pieces of red fondant. Now I've got all my strips cut out and you can see the graduation of colour from light to dark, and I'm going to create a love heart because it's coming up to Valentine's Day, so I'm going to make my ruffle in a love heart shape. So starting with my lightest strip, I'm just going to use my balling tool and rub it along either side of the fondant strip. I'm actually not pressing down too hard here. What I'm doing is thinning out the edge so it actually expands the fondant a little bit and you get a nice thin edge. Now using my paintbrush and flour glue, I'm going to paint on a love heart shape. So I'm going to make sure I've got plenty of flour glue there, and then I'm going to carefully fold my strip down the centre. So I'm just going to press a little bit on the top fold, but making sure that the outer edges of the frill don't touch. And using the balling tool, I'm just going to press gently onto the fondant in the middle of the fold, where I would like my centre of my heart to begin, and then I'm going to gently drape it down the side, and carefully as I go along keep pressing into the centre of the fold so that the fondant strip attaches to the cake itself. And to create the middle shape of the heart I'm going to lift up the fondant and try to create an M shape where the bottom points of the M are close together. So we've got the top curves of the M, and once my fondant is stuck to the cake I'm just going to use my balling tool to separate the edges of the ruffles. So now I'm going to repeat the process with, this is the second strip of the same lightest shade, and I'm going to thin out my edges, fold over my fondant in half, apply a little bit more flour glue in the shape of a heart, and this time I'm going to start at the bottom point of the love heart and follow around the shape I've already created. It's helpful to use the balling tool at the top of the heart to make an indentation. And I'm just going to continue this process with each of my fondant strips, and the colour will gradually darken as I go along. As the love heart shape gets bigger, the strip of fondant is not going to go completely around the heart, so you'll have a join. So what I'm going to do is just insert one piece of fondant into the other so that we don't see the join, and then just keep following the same process. Once I've finished my fondant strips I've got a beautiful ombre ruffled heart just in time for Valentine's Day, but this technique can be applied to any shape. Guys, if you enjoyed my video I'd love it if you gave it a like and subscribe to my channel for lots more video updates, and thanks for watching, and of course happy Valentine's Day.